Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
David, it's an honor and privilege to speak with you. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
This is such an eye-opening anthology series dropping soon to AppleTV Plus. Does an amazing job at addressing the effects of climate change. I was wondering, because that's obviously the big focal point, was there anything else specifically that drew you towards this project?
Yeah, I mean, that and sort of everything else about it. I think I fell in love with the scripts and like the creative team working on it, and then all of the other actors in it. Like it's a big project, but like it is these really personal stories, and I love this character, Marshall, that I get to play. He's like, I understand he's like me in a lot of ways, so that was fun, but also not like anyone I've ever gotten to play. So yeah, it was the right amount of challenging and the right amount of exciting and fun.
Absolutely. David Diggs is a storyteller, and I find it interesting. I feel like there's a lot of different reasons and why we want to be storytellers. I think the big thing is I think we love to make things. I think we love to create moments. I think that's a big one. I also think that we love the telling important stories. And you look at a lot of projects like Extrapolations, but other projects that you've done in the past, like Hamilton, Wonder, Snowpiercer, these are very important projects. Your path as a storyteller, is it safe to say it's been a combination of creating moments and also being able to tell very important stories?
It's interesting that you pointed out. I think what I am always attracted to is something that does take a larger issue, something that is or should be important, something that we need to think about it, but really makes it entertainment, and like uses that issue as the table stakes for the project, and then tells interesting stories about interesting people within that, right? And that I think is just it's the most. I think if you're not entertained by the thing, then it doesn't really matter what you're talking about. So I think when I come across a project or work on a thing that can do both, right, that can manage to be really entertaining and be trying to talk about something, I'm always really attracted to that.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of others I didn't name as well, but those are the ones that came to mind because I love those. Project Wonder is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie. So absolutely. And very quickly, takeaways, the important kind of effects of climate change. There's a lot of other things about relationships and dialogue. Is that what are takeaways for this show you're hoping people get out of?
Yeah. I mean, I think that I hope that sort of people, it inspires people. If you love it a lot and you spend a lot of time talking about it, then particularly this climate change issue, but all the other issues, it can activate our choices a little bit instead of making them passive. I think my journey after working on it was like, I do a lot of things that are like that are negatively affecting the climate that I don't even think about. So it's like, I should, even thinking about them more, then I know I'm making that choice and I cannot make it sometimes. But the times I choose to make it, I have to be aware that I made it. And I think that goes a long way.
That is very well said. Extrapolations is premiering March 17th on Apple TV Plus. David, thank you so much for your time. It was great chatting with you.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.